Today on the show Radical Ones, we celebrate 38 years of the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking from 1988.
My name's Pippi Longstocking.
It's time to get radical.
Said he's having no trouble. It's simple.
Hello there. It's showtime.
What is this, trick or treat?
Did I do that?
Good morning, Charlie.
Deal with it.
Daddy would have gotten us Uzis.
The power is yours. Get down, honey, get down.
And look, I won't go far, okay? If the apocalypse comes,
Hold your fire. I'm a human.
Grace Jones.
Thunder. Thundercast.
Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free. Power of 3 will set us free.
But I ain't one to gossip, so if anyone asks you, you ain't heard it from me. No, you have.
No more room in hell. The dead walk here.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with everyone's favorite brother and mine, David, for another episode of the podcast. Hello, David.
Well, hello there. I am going by the name Pippi Delicatessa, Window Shade, Mackerel Mint, Ephraim's daughter Longstocking, or as I like to say, Pippi.
Hi, Pippi.
Or if you prefer, I'm going as Pippi, Holada, Delicatessen, Boar's Head, Window Blinds, Macklemore, Ephraim's daughter, Long Socks.
Macklemore is a name I haven't heard since God knows when.
We're going to go thrifting. I'm going to pop some tags. Got $20 in my pocket. $20 in my pocket. Looking for a come up. This is something awesome. I can't curse on this podcast. Well, I could. You could just bleep it, but
you know what's awesome though? 38 years of the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, David.
This is amazing. We actually got in contact with one of the stars, or I should say the main star, Tami, and she was nice enough to send us a little tiny message that we can play. We're going to have productions cue that up right now, and I mean Ryan.
Here we go. Let's kick it off with our message from Tami Erin herself.
Hi, Ryan and David. It's Tami Erin, also known as Pippalata Delicatessa Window Shade Longstocking, daughter of Captain Efraim Longstocking, Pippi for short. So, I heard about your show, Radical Retro Rewind, and you guys have the Radical Ones, your listeners, and you're celebrating the 38th anniversary of the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, selling worldwide in 13 languages. So I'm in New Orleans right now, but you wanted to know what is one of my favorite memories, being the guest of royalty. It's such a rare accomplishment, and I'm so grateful for it. I was the guest of the Princess of Japan, Princess Nori, Emperor Hirohito's granddaughter, in Tokyo, Japan. And that was before it was also King Carl and Queen Sylvia in Stockholm, Sweden, and then 4 cities in Germany, 14 cities in the US. So thank you so much for asking the question. If you guys want to know more about me, go to TamiErin.com and you can find my new movies coming out in 2026, which is I Am Pippi, the documentary, and also I'm going to film in 1 week. I'm going to film House of Dolls 2, which is a horror slasher movie, and so I'm really thrilled about that. And so go to TamiErin.com and you can find out more about me. Thanks so much for Ryan and David.
Thank you so much, Tami. David, first off, Tami is just beautiful, and she exudes that Pippi energy still, let me tell you.
So one of the things that I really like about her is, one, after 38 years, she still embraces the character.
Yes.
She's not one of those people like, I can't stand these actors and actresses and singers that complain that they have to. Yes, I get it's old hat. I'm sure Celine Dion probably does not want to sing the Titanic theme again, but it made you a lot of money.
Yeah.
It made you endearing to people, and you just kind of have have to go through the motions. If that's your moneymaker and that's what people love, we've heard over the years like people that have like complained about like roles that have made them famous
or don't want anything to do with them. In a world of people like that, be a Tiffany. Every time it's like the first time she sings that song, like she brings the energy.
She has joy when she sings it.
She has joy.
So like I love that. So anyway, the other thing that was in the message was that the new documentary I Am Pippi, which I'm totally stoked about, and
excited
that she's going to be in a slasher film, which I think she sounds so like hyped about too. That's not her wheelhouse, I'm sure.
We will be following Tami.
I'm totally we're hyping that up, but I know that you were going to say more about the documentary because it's not just about Tami's reincarnation of Pippi.
Right, David. This is fantastic. So from another interview I saw with Tami recently, the documentary is going to focus on all Pippis because Pippi is a huge Swedish property. It was a book first. It's part of our culture, but it's a huge part of Swedish culture. And Tami said it's going to have Pippis from the TV show, the Broadway version of Pippi, all different versions of Pippi and what the character has brought to them personally. And again, it goes back, David, to celebrating the characters. And I love that 38 years later, Tami is out there.
Loving, embracing. That's so amazing. I think it's such a cool thing. And this role really, she was honored. She was an honored guest for royalty, the Princess of Japan, as well as the King
and Queen of Sweden.
So I mean, who can actually say that just based on a role in a movie, but has been dubbed 13 times. Wow.
Yeah, so what she mentioned, Tami, in the video was it was released in 13 languages worldwide at the time. So Columbia Pictures really did this movie up because sometimes like the movie will be released in the UK at this time, America this time.
Typically, honestly, I feel like a good movie is typically dubbed only a handful of times in the prevalent languages. So like most of the prevalent languages you have in the world are like English, Spanish, French. There's a few
Portuguese.
There's a few languages that are typically dubbed. Things are dubbed into, and to have 13 different languages, that's a big feat, and that just speaks to how far the franchise, how far the love of this particular storytelling and this story exists. So kudos to that. And
it fits with the character, right? Because in the beginning of the movie, David, we see that Pippi has had a very colorful life. Yes. She has traveled the world herself, this character. So it's just a great thing. And there are interviews on YouTube, David, of Tami at the time in these different countries promoting the film. So it sounds like she did have a magical experience. Again, we're so proud and happy that the actual lead of a movie that meant so much to us and we've watched so many times, and clearly kids around the world, is embracing it. So let's get into the film.
She's pigtails, she's freckles, she's fun if you're young or old, and she's loved the world over. She's Pippi Longstocking.
She loves trees and rolling seas, and the mountains please her more than toys do.
Welcome, pigtails, freckles, and fun.
Well done, Mr. Nielsen.
Welcome to the new adventures of Pippi Longstocking. She's coming to your town this summer.
My, who's fun to be around. Whoa, whoa, Pippi Longstocking is coming in.
so you have, it starts off on a ship, which is really cool.
So if you weren't expecting, also, it's a musical, but
Yes.
it's one of those musicals where it's incorporated in the actual story and they don't just like stop and, perform like Suddenly Seymour kind of thing. It's more of, we're actually singing as part of
they're
our
pirates
life.
and they're singing a pirate song. Life is a breeze, we do it for fun. No apologies to anyone.
Life is a breeze, we live it for fun. No apologies to anyone. We live on the seas, we do as we please.
The movie, by the way, is described as Pippi Longstocking tumbles off her father's pirate ship and washes up in a small Florida coastal town. Her wild confidence and big heart shake up everything around her, especially for social worker Miss Bannister.
This actually brought up a lot of anger for me. Miss Bannister, as well as Tommy and Annika's father, really, really angered me. And I was angry at the time when we watched it as kids, and I'm angry again.
38 years later,
it's uncalled for. It's unconscionable. And I understand like there's the arc of the movie and this is just the way it has to go, but it hurt my heart really because it was unnecessary, some of the stuff. And again, I'm not tarnishing this movie at all. This is just a small bit of the movie.
Not at all.
So you have Pippi Longstocking. She's on the boat. They're near a island with a volcano. The volcano erupts and it causes
the Little Mermaid ship, as I call it.
It causes a disturbance, which the ship, they get thrown off the ship, and
it's dramatic.
Unfortunately, her father is going in one direction. He says, Pippi, the current is taking me one direction. The current's taking you to another direction. He says, we'll meet at the Villa Villekulla, which is his home away from home, I guess you'd say. His old Victorian.
Run down Victorian.
Which Ryan did a little research, and you too can stay at the Villa Villekulla.
Isn't this amazing? So if you are in Florida, as of 2011, the villa is available as a bed and breakfast. So
I think we should go to the Villa Villekulla.
It's now called Postada San Carlos, a bed and breakfast painted white, pink, and green. And it's become a popular tourist attraction. So that's something that David mentioned off screen. He originally was like, why didn't Pippi, the character, it would make sense.
She's so vibrant, and she
even
during the movie, she's painting pictures and stuff. And it's part of like her arc that she's like, maybe think about going to school with her friends. I'm surprised she didn't paint the whole house like fluorescent pink or like crazy colors, but it's like whitewashed shiplap the whole time. And I'm shocked she didn't just go buy cans of paint and just go crazy.
And the fact that the owners, I guess knowing it's a tourist attraction, did go pink and green. I want to say it's inspired by Pippi. I want to say in my own personal headcanon.
I would think you would probably do that.
Like if you have the Charmed Manor,
you're gonna put triquatras everywhere. You're gonna put a fake Book of Shadows. You're like, you're gonna have like pictures of like Shannon Doherty all over the place. And
if I had the Villa Villekulla, I would have.
You'd have a horse and a monkey.
I would totally put a fake horse outside.
So there is a part where Tommy and Annika's...
So that's the neighbors, by the way. They want best friends. That's how they set these characters up.
They end up meeting Pippi in the middle of the night as their parents leave them alone to go to dinner.
You know, Annika, there's something strange going on in there.
You mean somebody's in there? Or maybe even ghosts?
So we did question this off camera. Seeing this movie, I guess I knew that it wasn't 1980s as we're watching.
They're all dressed in, like we kind of thought it was the 1950s. And yes, it's supposed to be taking place in 1951.
So there you go. That's for time-wise. But even in 1951, would children be left alone for dinner like that? I mean, I guess this is a small town.
I don't know. I don't even want to leave my children in the next room alone the way the world is.
No less.
Knowing my children as well. So
I guess they didn't think that Tommy and Annika, the 1950s housewife that she's growing up to be. I mean, this girl, David, she is ready to be married and cooking in the 1950s lifestyle. Even her little bob.
Well, then she knew the assignment.
I mean, she was good for it. And Tommy and... I always want to call her Danica. Annika.
Like Anakin Skywalker.
Not Danica. Self-insert characters, right? We're the ones that you're supposed to see yourself in the non-magical, boring children that live in this town. Not Pippi.
You'll catch your death of cold if you stand around like that. Since when do people die from being wet? That's what my mom always says.
There's nothing wrong with living a life that is stable, but Pippi brings color and vibrancy and joy and magic to their lives and imagination. And that is also where this character brings that to us as the viewer of the movie.
David often tries and attempts to watch if he thinks it would interest the kids. Like he'll attempt to, like when we did My Little Ponies, he watched it with his daughter. His youngest watched Pippi Longstocking with him, and he had a few observations, which I just love if you just bring up.
So every time Pippi does a fantastic feat, there's almost like an electronic robotic sound, much like Wonder Woman when she leaps, or Bionic Woman Jamie Summers, that or the Bionic Man. There's always this. My son was like, is she a robot? Because one, she's doing these fantastical feats, but also this electronic weird sound.
Yes.
And I said, no, she's not a robot. She's just, there's some kind of magical aspect of her. She's very strong.
And that's the magic being activated.
Yeah, it's just like the sound.
Papa, save me!
I'll show you.
Not growing up in that era, that he didn't understand, that he kind of was like, she's like a robot or something. He liked it. I mean, he wanted to watch it again. The other siblings were like kind of a pain in the butt about wanting to watch it again, but he kept saying, and he calls her Pippi long socks, not stockings. Because
David, the fact that he even wanted to watch it again warmed my heart when you said it, because who would have thought any movie, especially this movie, would appeal to a child? But I got to tell you, even
I think he really liked. I think he really
ooh.
liked the crazy antics of it. I also think he tapped into like the imagination aspect of it when she creates a flying contraption and she does like, again, these fantastical things.
When she turns into a doll, when they do the flying scene, when they're in that airplane, I love it. It's like a doll that spins. I love this.
So let's go back. So she meets them. Pippi also has a monkey, Mr. Nielsen, with her, who is dressed like Britney Spears from the circus era. And she has...
Oh my God, it was choked me. And her horse, who I always love, David. Alfonso.
No, Pippi, he talked. Both animals talk to some degree.
That's my horse, Alfonso. What's the horse doing in the attic? Beats me. I keep telling him not to go up there, but he doesn't listen. Alfonso, get down on the porch where you belong. You see, he won't listen.
He is simply called Horse in the original Swedish books, David. There's also an official Swedish name, Lilla Guden.
Lilla Guden.
Not, believe me,
we don't know. We can't even speak English, right? So,
but it stands for Little Old Man. So that's the one they particularly used in the 1969 Pippi Longstocking TV series, which I always tell David she would look very Heidi of the Hills, as I call it.
Not to be confused with Heidi Montag of
the Hills,
of
California.
the Hills, California.
No, she looked very Slothic.
Sloth-like? What do you say? Slavic?
Slavic. I don't even know if that's
no, I don't think that's
the term, but that's what she looked
Swedish?
like. Yes, I guess I should say Swedish. She looked
Slavic.
very Swedish.
She looked like she was from Yugoslavia. No, she was Swedish.
She was Pippi Lotta.
Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, something. You're pulling at that. You're pulling at that. She looked like Wendy. She looked like when we were going to do this, I said, should I buy one of those Wendy's wigs and just be it on film and wear that the whole time? I was that close.
Speaking of that, Tammy's natural red hair was dyed a more red shade for this movie because it is.
There was actually in the
red.
beginning, it wasn't super red. They dyed it. They must have dyed it up again because if you're a redhead, an unnatural redhead, you know that red fades fairly quickly. Fake red.
So they were like, "Oh no, get this Pippi girl some dye."
My papa and I have been shipwrecked so many times that there are only 8 or 9 islands we haven't been to in the whole world. Weren't you afraid? Well, there was this hurricane, and the peas flew out of the soup, and the ship's cat flew past me stark naked, and his fur landed on my fork.
Let's just talk right off the bat about the father.
He pissed me off.
But
he's like annoying. I get where he's coming from in one way, but he's really
Captain Efraim.
No, not the father. I'm talking about
No, I'm talking about
Pippi Lotta.
Which David has been Oh, you're
talking about Pippi's dad.
Pippi! Keep on being just yourself, Pippi Lotta.
I'm talking about Pippi's dad.
Pippi's dad is a fun-loving pirate.
You know what I'm going to say.
Oh, yes. Ryan thinks
that... You know what I'm going to say.
Ryan has thought that Captain Efraim,
who's a cannibal,
who is king of the cannibals of the Curry Islands, looks like a mixture of the Giving Tree author Shel Silverstein and
I don't know why I had to specify Tim Curry mixed together, which I guess would be Frankenfooter, but it's Tim Curry and the Giving Trees.
How do you
author.
do? I see you've met my faithful handyman.
Can't you see this
Oh, well,
next-
that goes into your whole thing about the second in command. The what do you call it?
Cabin boy.
Hi, princess.
The cabin boy with Ryan must have had a crush on.
Again, we spoke about this off camera, Radical Ones. You missed some of the best conversations ever.
Ryan apparently had a thing for the actor who's
forgot
been in
about
other
him.
movies.
Totally forgot about him as I looked
To me, he's cute.
He was like an old friend came back. I was like,
he looked like he was probably one of the members of the musical group The Jets.
He looks like
How
a Jet
did you
brother.
know
Yes!
that I never
it's
told
brothers
you
and
found
sisters,
out
right?
I got a crush
Oh, they're
on
cousins?
you. Well, I don't know, probably both.
So there's so many things that happen in
Up
this
the
movie,
hills.
but there's music. There's music.
There's music, and I love a good musical break.
And it's not the typical musical, David. I swear half the time, especially in Scrubbing Day, which I've never stopped singing for 38 years.
Do you ever sometimes start cleaning and you think, Scrubbing
Yes,
Day
all the
is
time.
my
Isn't that funny?
favorite day? Yeah, me too. And I don't like cleaning.
They made it out to be fun. I love that she has them over and she
forces
she's
them
like,
to
"This
clean.
is we're going to have a game, but we're going to clean. We're going to clean.
Because Annika's like, oh, Pippi, your house is disgusting, basically.
What is that man?
Why do you live in such filth?
The man she tries to give who's trying to sell the house, and she goes, I don't want your filthy sewing machine, Mr. Blackheart or whatever, with his black fingernails. Did you see that?
Yeah, were they painted?
They were painted, very ahead of his time. But they do this, right? They do Scrubbing Day, and it's almost like Pippi singing, but you'll notice that she just gives up halfway.
Oh, Pippi, what a mess. Here, put these on and follow me.
Put my scrubbing shoes on and I never get the blues on Monday morning. Yeah, yeah. This starts to be a goner as I hit each dirty corner without warning. Yeah, yeah. Throwing soap suds everywhere. We're being careful, very careful to enjoy ourselves each step of the way. Scrubbing Day is a holiday and the game we play is as wild as it can get. Scrubbing Day is my favorite day, 'cause on Scrubbing Day we make everything get wet.
How much of it is real? Are they hearing the song? Is she singing the song?
I don't know, and that's part of like the whole thing. Like, there is like a theme song for different parts of the movie that propel the storyline along. So like, there's Scrubbing Day. There's the beginning of the movie where they do the pirate song. There's Scrubbing Day when Pippi straps on like scrub brushes,
and she does spin like a robot. And
there is a point where
splash.
she says she's multitasking. She takes a bath with her clothes on and then spins dry completely. That's the part where my son
And
was
yet
like, "Is she a
wets them
robot?"
all
And
up.
then it looks like you said. It looks like it's like he said off camera. It looks like you're being sprayed with a garden hose.
Ah, nothing like a morning bath. But Pippi, you've got all your clothes on. Well, that's because it's laundry day.
But this is like the fun of it, but to be honest with you, every kid has wanted to. My son just the other day saw like a video about like having your house filled with bubbles. He's like, "Can we do that?" I'm like, "No, we are not doing that."
Oh, you mean like when they do the floors almost?
Yeah, like a foam party. Like, I'm like, we're not doing that.
Kind of like a scene.
So like that's the fantastic part of it. And
Can I tell you though, do you remember me spinning as a child? I felt like I used to spin because of this movie, spin in a circle. Like
I spam because of Wonder Woman.
Well, Wonder Woman, of course, but I felt like I always was spinning, and I didn't realize, David, how much of my life was based on this movie.
Really?
I can't tell you how many things that were happening at the time, like when they're throwing the plates up in the clubhouse, different things she says, and I'm like, oh my God, my whole life was this movie, but yet I blocked it out until we rewatched it, and I was telling David off camera again that I can't believe, because we've seen it so many times that it's almost like it was blocked. And then as we're watching it, it's coming back. It's coming back.
So
it's
did you
coming
put
back.
your scrubbing shoes on and you'll never have the
I
blues
would
on
love
Sunday? Do you have scrubbing shoes? I can get you some. My floors need to be clean. I'll put some scrubbing shoes on you right now. I'll put some slippers on your
like
feet.
They were just like scrub brushes that she just ingeniously made into. It's hysterical because at one point, Annika, and Tommy's mother, who is the one, like David always says too, she's more of the one who sees the joy.
She sees that her children are blossoming, that she even says they've never been so happy, and she embraces that.
As opposed to the father who
is like basically is so annoyed that his children that his children are like being kids, basically. Like he acts like he isn't personally in charge. Like, I get it. We all live in different ways. Like I don't parent my children the way my next door neighbors parent their children, and so on and so on. So whatever happens in somebody else's house, yes, it's different because Pippi's parents aren't there technically, although she does kind of fudge at one point and say, oh, my mom's not home right now.
Which the mother did pick up on, right?
Yeah, she kind of knew.
Now I want the real truth. Your mother, she is dead, isn't she?
Oh no! You see that cloud? Well, there's a little hole in it right above my house. Whenever I'm in trouble or I need advice, I see her face right about there. She always helps me one way or another.
The bottom line is the father's like, how dare you? I'm going to get to why you like, I don't care if I go into somebody else's house and they let their kids, obviously I don't want my children badly influenced, but if they let their children watch TV for 30 hours, not 30 hours in a day, but you know what I mean? Like 24 hours a day, that's not for me to say because that's not my house. And the father is this like self-righteous, stuck up 1950s, like you stay in the kitchen and cook food and do what I tell you to do. And that ain't flying with me. That wouldn't have flied with me in 1950. And that ain't flying with me in 2026. Like that kind of annoyed me because I understand like there are rules put in place to protect children and different things, but like seeing my children blossom and my daughter, who's kind of a wallflower, open up a little bit, I would have been like, okay, this girl is crazy and whatever, but she's also helping my daughter to find her voice a little bit. And here's the thing, unless you're like a total like misogynist freak, as a parent, I would think that you would want your daughter to still have some sort of a voice or still feel confident or have some sort of place in society. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you want, like ultimately, I feel as a parent, I want them to strive for what they want. I don't want them to be perfect. I know my children are not going to be the smartest person in the world. You know what I mean? Like there's always going to be somebody you're going to be fast, but there's always going to be somebody faster. There's always somebody that has just a little more talent than you do. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way the world is.
Yes.
We have a podcast. We might have whatever, how many thousands of followers. There's always going to be someone that has 10,003 followers to your, you know what I'm trying to say? Like there's always going to be somebody, and that's life. That's the way it is. That's the way the world runs. And I would never downtrodden anybody about that. But it's just like the fathers like just wanted to crush every moment of their happiness, and it just annoyed me. And
until he didn't.
And it really hurt me.
Her name is Pippi Longstocking.
And she's come to live here.
I don't know what got into you two. How could you do something like this?
Until he swapped.
But did he? Because he only swapped after some tragic event and he got Pippi taken away. He basically worked on having her taken away.
Oh, yeah.
And the mother even said it. The mother who doesn't speak up. Are you happy
now?
Yeah, basically.
The mother says to him, Pippi gets them home safe. That's all that matters. And I said, and she cleans beautifully. And I'm going to have her come over here
and the mother says,
house.
I don't think Pippi would ever I don't think she would ever put the children in any harm. She gets them home safe, and that's all that really matters. Like she had conviction when she said that. Like,
what do you think though when she invites them over? She goes, "Do come over, Pippi. Clean my house. You clean beautifully." When they have that scene when she's making an impression on the parents, and she does put her face in the cake. Because other than that, I feel like she wasn't so.
Because that's the thing is, I feel like at the same time she really put her foot in her mouth, so to speak. Like she went too much. She did too much.
And the mother
said too much, Pippi. Like you were trying too hard to be center of attention or do too much.
Pippi, come in the kitchen. We'll wipe off your face. It'll be all right.
I think I went a little too far.
That wasn't funny, Pippi. Your table manners are atrocious.
Listen, if I promise to practice 1 hour each day, will you teach me all that table manners and stuff?
I'll try.
Because they do think that's the other plot point. She's experienced these things as a pirate, and she tells these tales. People think she's making them up, but she has experienced these tales, right? That's how I'm taking it.
I'm taking it as too. She's been there. Like she lived on a pirate ship. She's been to different places. She has seen things.
In the intro, we saw the countries. Oh, that's, by the way, let's bring it up right now.
This is a product of the time that it was made.
And I did notice in research, of course, David, this has come up. Believe me, we're not we don't want to offend anybody's culture, but this is definitely a product of its time.
There's always going to be, and we talked about this when we talked about The Wizard of Oz. We talked about this when we've talked about when we did a blaxploitation film that we absolutely love the character for her female empowerment and strength. There's always going to be films that are product. We've talked about this when we've done films that have about gay characters, how there's mentioned about things that are derogatory towards us as gay people. Like, people, if you're going to and watch the movie, there might be something that is projected or said or seen or whatever that is racially, I don't want to say just insensitive or just kind of like weird or like not the I don't even know what you want to say, the norm, or just seems a little weird. Eskimo. It's like silly. It's just silly. It's not meant to be.
Because she's coming into your world.
It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be in a joking way or making fun of somebody else's culture. And
there is that kind of part. I figured we'd bring it up.
They do have an adventure where they go into town, and this is another part of the movie that really kind of made me sad and happy.
Another memorable part, because they have this Pippi parade. By the way, if you're in her world, you will celebrate Pippi,
and you will sing the song too,
and you will be in a Pippi's parade. You will.
So does the song just come up magically?
It's like her theme song. It's like
I want a theme song when I walk into a room.
God, David.
Let's work on that. We do. If those of you who follow us religiously or who have not actually made comments on Apple, either the music and or the podcast, which you should, but I'm just saying, I'm not bitter, just a little disappointed. Thank you. We do make music, so I would like to make us a theme. I want a theme song when I come into like legit. It would be so funny.
And then you make people sing it
when we do. When we do our next not live special. When we do our next special, when we're physically on camera, I want a theme song when I walk in every time.
Okay, we could actually probably.
We have to ask Zach about that.
We could probably do that, and it
doesn't have to be to the tune of Pippi Longstocking.
We'll force people to participate, because even when she does get the kids involved from the orphanage, they're having a Pippi party, as she said. She is in control.
So the bottom line is, they come into town. She's on a horse.
To buy a grand piano. I always remember that.
She's on a horse, and she's pulling an old motorcycle that has the sidecar, and it's cool. And you see these kids coming from the orphanage, and Mrs. Bannister is hitting them, and she's being cruel to them.
What is with Mrs. Bannister? Because she does, and she's Miss Hannigan. She wants to be badly. I also think she's a little bit of an alcoholic, possibly.
Miss Hannigan.
She's like, oh, Pippi, yeah. But what is that turn?
Played famously by.
This is Elaine Brennan.
I'm afraid this will be no game. I am the welfare worker from the county, and there is a place for you in our children's home, and I have come to take you there.
But I already have a place in a children's home.
Where?
Well, look, I'm a child, and this is my home. Therefore, I live in a children's home, and a very comfortable one at that.
She's mean to the kids. So let's just go back to the scene quick. She's mean to the kids. She's pushing them into the hurry up. She's like swatting at them. Hurry up, get into the bus to go to.
Oh, because they're getting haircuts,
and teeth pulling. And then this one girl that's like this another redhead that like her little kind of pet, like she kind of like wants to be Mrs. Bannister's pet or whatever, I guess.
She was, David, one of the runners up to play Pippi Longstocking, and they liked her so much that they gave her the role of the head girl, because I think Pippi was the right person.
Yeah, I think so, but I think she could have. I mean, she probably is a delightful person, and you know what I mean. Just because she's playing a character doesn't mean.
So if you notice that she's a redhead too, that's why.
Tommy and Annika tell Pippi's like, "Is that your school? Is that where you go?" And she's like, "No, those are the orphans." They were like, "We can't talk to them." In other words, like she goes, "Well, let's go play with them." And Tommy and Annika are like, "No, they're orphans."
Pippi, I'm a 50s housewife. I cannot do this.
So that broke my heart, and it pissed me off at the same time, because they meet another kid that comes over, and she's like, "Hey, Freckles." She calls him Freckles because she's got freckles. Don't you love having freckles? He's like, "Not really." Like he's like, "Yeah, kid, not really." It was like a 1950s paperboy.
Fuck off. It's against the rules. Listen, I want you to go to the ice cream truck, and I want you to get lots of ice cream and every kind of candy that they have. Here's some gold coins. Okay?
Okay,
now
come on, Annika. You won't get away with this. I'm telling Miss Bannister, and she'll soon settle your hash. Miss Bannister?
That settles it. Now we're gonna have a ball.
The boy and Pippi go play with the, ask them if they want ice cream, what's their, different things. And they go and end up buying them instruments
for this Pippi parade.
And they send Tommy and Annika to buy ice cream from the ice cream man with the gold doubloons that she's got.
Pippi, I love this. She's throwing ice cream. The kids are having an amazing time. Vats of ice cream. She's just throwing friggin' cones at these kids, too. It's getting everywhere.
The townspeople are recognizing that these kids get nothing. And they're like, oh, isn't that wonderful? They're just having so much fun. Yet they do nothing to help the kids. And then Mrs. Bannister comes out and tells the policeman to break it up and basically, I guess, arrest Pippi or the father. And the father comes. The father comes too. Tommy and Annika's father, who I can't stand. So then him and Miss Bannister at some point kind of concoct an idea to basically take Pippi.
She gives her a choice. She says, I want you to want to come. So if she didn't say she would try
but there's because she knows that Pippi has got Hercules strength and can do crazy stuff.
Oh, is that why?
Because she escaped her once.
There is a running away part. Running away.
Which is also another theme song where they try to, the freckle-faced kid sees that they're trying to, they get the police, the firemen, all these different people, bounty hunters. They're like, do we really need all this? She's like, and Mrs. Bannister's like, yeah, this girl, she's like La Femme Nikita. You gotta worry. She's gonna do some crazy stuff.
They even brought ladders too. I think they're like anything.
She'll jump on the roof.
Yeah, she'll laugh and flip backwards.
There's so many other parts of the movie. There's a man who's trying to develop the land. He's kind of like we mentioned him earlier.
There's a lot going on.
And there's also a man who has a flying machine who she tries to emulate, and she ends up creating a flying machine which Tommy, Annika, and her escape in.
With a broom.
And Pippi basically says, which is very adult of her, I don't run away from my problems, but because Tommy and Annika are running away, I have to go with them.
Because they didn't want to lose Pippi because all they wanted was a friend, these two. They have this song, Running Away. 80s.
We've got to do something drastic.
They end up going and spending a night in the forest and far away in this flying machine.
Pippi kind of, though, teases them, too.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. She's also mischief. She's like,
I'm going to sleep, but you guys... and she has a gun. A pirate gun. She is prepared. If you run away, you want Pippi Longstocking.
But she pretends she's using it, but then at sudden you hear noises and stuff. So she is kind of magical, right?
She is. I guess she is magical. I'll take it.
She has some sort of magic. So it's just a really cool movie. It's imagination. There's a lot going on, and then they end up going in barrels, and they end up going over like a not Niagara Falls, but a fall, and they end up getting rescued by the father, who I guess that's his redeeming moment, saving his kids and Pippi Longstocking in the flying machine. He sends down a ladder.
That's right, the ladder. I swear, so much of the 80s movies as kids, we must have thought you could go in barrels. How many cartoons and movies at the time, just in general, had people
Has
in
someone
barrels?
ever gone over the barrel in Niagara Falls?
Is that a thing?
I think somebody did try to go over Niagara Falls. They probably died, I would imagine, right? Would barrels float in water? We'll have to research that.
Tami, in one of those interviews I watched, did say that was one of the hardest parts of the movie because the mechanism and them drifting back and forth in these barrels, they had to film a few times over. Other thing is Pippi, which again, this came back to me. Pippi talks to her mother in the sky, and you don't hear the mother talking back, but she answers. She's like, okay, can you help me contact Dad or Papa? and she's like writing a note in a bottle, which is funny. A pirate would find a glass message in a bottle. But so what is that too? So there must be something mystical.
But here's the thing. This is so Pippi ends up, Miss Bannister kind of after all this convinces her or says that she'll try it.
You looked exhausted.
And again, the woman who's the teacher is nasty and she's mean. And here's the part that again broke my heart. She's in this place. They're cruel to her. She doesn't understand. She's illiterate.
Yeah.
She can't read or write.
I do love the quote though. She does tell the teacher, if you don't know that, then you shouldn't be
And
teaching.
the teacher is nasty to her. She hits her. She's mean. And I don't understand any time in history where you think it's okay to strike a child because they don't understand something or know something. I don't understand where anybody, I don't care. Your natural instinct is to hit a child, and I don't understand where you would take on a position to oversee children. Like, I'm not talking like there are people that are sadistic and evil, right? And I'm sure they probably would take a job because they would enjoy the power. But I'm talking, I don't think Miss Bannister in the context of this movie, I don't think Miss Bannister took on a job to be like she's an evil person. But I don't understand like people who take on jobs. Like if you don't like children, don't get a job in daycare. If you don't like touching people, don't get a job as a nurse. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was in nursing, like I knew that I would have to deal with bodily fluids and touch people and be a caregiver. Like,
but these kids did seem scared.
So they were really cruel to her. And who told you could braid your hair? Like, I mean, come on. Like, how cruel can people be? And there is a moment between Pippi and the suck up girl. She's like, well, they do feed us. And so she like, you could tell like she's
there was going to be a moment with them, but then the next scene is when Pippi's drawing Alfonso.
But she basically says that it's almost like she's surviving. The girl is just surviving. She's doing what she has to survive.
That makes sense, actually.
But she does tell her mom, I don't understand why they asking me questions I don't know the answer to, but they know the answer. Why would they? Like, she's hurting. And it really, really hurt me because I know my children were in the system. So I know this firsthand. And it kills me. It kills me to know that people would do this to children. Again, I understand being overwhelmed in a system, but it should not come out as cruelty. Maybe it comes out as you're not as available. Maybe it comes out as you're not as
just one
enthusiastic, but never cruelty.
Okay, I have so many questions just based on that, what you're saying too. So why do you think they make a conscious choice in all of these movies
because that's the way it was.
So like, is that like almost like a warning of this is how your life could be if you were an orphan? Because why is it
that's the way it was? That's the way it was. It just broke my heart. It really hurt me.
But why is this a common thing? You think because this was reality? Why is it every children's movie or anything with the orphans are always miserable? I mean,
because they're the throwaways of society. You're not perfect. Think about it. Even when
Annie, like you mentioned, Annie.
Even when I was adopting my children, when people adopt children, and this is something, adoption is not for everybody. And again, I'm going to get off my soapbox because we're really talking about this movie, but everybody wants a newborn baby.
Another moment that stands the hell out, and you don't remember it until it happens, from me anyway, is the one from Spaceballs, the father who plays the glue salesman, who's
is it
King Dick Van Patten. He plays Gregory the glue inventor.
Gregory McGregor's.
I'm Greg of Gregory's Dripping Glue, and I'm very sleepy.
Well, there's plenty of beds downstairs. How did you get up here? You certainly didn't come through the front door.
I climbed up.
On a ladder?
No, up the wall.
Derelict that's living in the attic
That's what
of
I was
the
just
orphanage.
gonna say. He's living in the attic because when Pippi tries to escape, she passes like the real world. Let me tell you what's going on in this place. They were playing craps. No, I don't even know.
They were playing some kind of card game.
She sees these people and then she gets to the attic and like David said, yeah, this glue man, although he's a very nice glue man, he gave it to her for free. He's like, just don't tell them I live here. No, I mean, joking. I've been using their clothes too. He says he invents this like magical glue basically that you just have to put a little on and you stick to the wall. But if you believe, you
have to cue Whitney.
I don't get it. So there's this montage, and I always call this the 80s. How 80s montage is this, though? Like, he's like putting her up the wall and he's trying to get her to believe in herself again. And she's like, okay. And then the song plays. Sticky situation. That's the 80s part of this. It's the 50s, but it's the 80s.
Okay, why not?
Sticky situation. My departure has to be a fair. use my ingenuity.
I'm walking on the ceiling.
The going gets too hot, and soon the going sees the last of me.
Oh, you see? No sweat.
And it was fun.
And you see Pippi walking up the side of the wall.
But she asked him, "Can you write?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she
yeah,
says,
yeah.
Tell him
Pippi sent you.
Pippi in the jam pot, come to the Villa Villekulla or something like that.
Thanks, Dad, for not coming this whole entire time, though. That's what I didn't understand, especially since you reminded me. He said, go to the Villa Cooley, whatever the frick it is, Kula.
Villa Villekulla.
Why didn't Adam's family house? Why didn't he come sooner? But anyway, how Pippi wins over the town and everybody is what causes the fire, dear? I forgot what caused the fire.
One of the nasty and dirty employees that works in the orphanage drops a cigarette butt and on a mattress that's randomly sitting in a hallway.
Oh, yeah.
On the steps.
What?
A dirty mattress, a Courtney Love mattress from when she was in Hole, the band.
When did this doll
parts mattress?
When did this turn into Return to Oz? There's like a moment when you're like, oh.
You're waiting for Mombi to jump out and
it was
try
like,
to get Dorothy's head, yeah.
Although I think
Dorothy girl!
You know what? Dorothy wishes she had Pippi's.
Power.
Pippi would have had them all sorted out, those wheelers and everything. She would have had
a girl that
sorted
never
out.
heard she couldn't do something.
Those wheelers would have been sold, those wheels. So she ends up going down the side of the building, but there's a fire.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
So she throws the bottle and she says, go right to my father. Tells the bottle what to do. After Gregory McGregor puts it in the bottle and then or whatever his name is.
That's from Thundercats.
I know, but whatever. I don't know what his name is.
Gregory the Glue Man.
Gregory the Glue Man, whatever his name is.
Gregory. I like you, Gregory.
But
Gregory.
Anyway, listen, we're cross
promoting
Thundercats.
The other thing, by the way, was Annika, their mother, and Tommy were going to break Pippi Longstocking out with the horse and the monkey, right?
I don't know, but there's a few things that transpire. One, the dirty, gross guy with the black fingernails who wants to basically steal.
Oh, Mr. Blackheart
wants to steal. The father actually steps up and says he's going to post a guard at the Villa Villekulla so nobody tries to take anything. Finally, he does something. The mom
is watching the animals, I'm assuming.
The mom is watching the animals, but she also tells the father, basically, you got rid of Pippi, you got what you wanted. And he goes, you don't agree with me? She goes, you know I don't. And she turns over. Finally, the mom opens her mouth. I was really happy. I was like, good for your mom. Speak up. She basically told him off. She was not happy.
She's like, I don't want to take care of these animals, and our house hasn't been as clean since Pippi left.
That's not what she said.
Our house has never been
I'm having a
dirty.
moment here, and you're ruining it.
I just knew that mother wanted her to clean. Do stop over Pippi. Do.
The fire breaks loose. Most of the kids are out, and Mrs. Bannister's trying to count the firemen. The fireman's like, how many kids? She's like, 1, 7, 32.
That's what I'm saying. Was she drunk?
No,
I took her as drunk.
I'm taking it as she's just overwhelmed, and she can't keep track of anything.
Okay, I thought she was
maybe that's
drunk.
why she's so mean. I don't know.
I think she was drunk.
So then she sees Pippi, and Pippi's like, I just climbed up the side. She's like, even at a time like this, you have to kid around. Meanwhile, she was telling the truth.
There's a glue man up in the attic who's been living off you.
So then there's two little kids and Gregory the glue man up there.
And he's like, oh, hey.
And they do that they're going to...
The circus
jumping, whatever the...
David, honestly, I was going to ask you this. I know you have to or you would burn up, but even I'm thinking, like, can you imagine those children?
Why wouldn't he make the children go first?
I think he fell.
No, they said you first, then the kids. I
thought he did, but then he looked like, oh, yeah. So they were like, oh, nope.
So it's Gregory and these two, a boy and a girl, very small. They say, make the man jump first. Now, I would have pushed the kids first. I would have forced them to go.
Work together? Or
no, I would have taken the girl, boy, jumped them. Like
Sorry.
They would have had no choice. Basically, Gregory falls and gets...
Oh, Gregory.
He's like, oh, don't worry. That's his hero moment, but it doesn't work out so well. He falls.
No less I was living in your attic. Pay no attention.
He falls. And there's a funny moment after that where he realizes, oh, there's police here. They're going to know that I was in the attic. So he takes off. And then the boy and the girl are not going to jump. They're too afraid to jump, which I understand.
I didn't blame them, honestly.
So Pippi asks for a rope from the fireman and she throws Mr. Nielsen across. She gets on a telephone pole.
I love it.
She climbs up a telephone pole, which is directly across from the window. She throws Mr. Nielsen across and he ties the rope.
Mr. Nielsen, though, was strong enough to tie this rope. He made enough of a knot.
He is a circus performer, as you almost were if you would have went by what they told you when you took those SATs.
You know, I should have. I honestly should have. My life would have been better.
Maybe not. You would have ended up, maybe you would end up
sticky situation.
The Dumbo circus. I don't know. Anyway, so Pippi goes across.
She tightrope
walks.
You love the overacting random woman who got to live her fantasy life out because she gets there and she decides Pippi's
make
like,
them jump. Oh God! Why is she doing this?
Yes.
Let them jump. We'll catch them. What's she trying to do? She'll never make it.
She was like, I have 2 lines. I'm winning
We'll
the
catch
Oscar.
them. We'll catch them.
Yes,
oh God. Oh God.
Tell me she did not want to live an Oscar
But
life.
at the same time, it makes sense. She could have taken
in
them
the rest of this movie, though, that they have to.
And they could have she could have taken them and dropped them into the net,
That's
right?
so
At that
true.
point, that would
but
have
she's
made...
like, no, they don't. They don't want to.
So
she's strong enough.
Instead, Pippi does what Pippi does the impossible. She tightrope walks with a
strength.
child under each arm, like she's getting like a loaf of bread under each arm, and goes.
Is this Norwegian? I mean, is this how they build people?
Yes, this is how the Swedes do it.
The Swedish people are,
yes,
because
they are powerful.
No wonder why. They must look at us and go, you cannot carry 2 children under your arm.
That's not a Swedish accent. That sounds, I don't know what that is.
You cannot hold the children under your arms. Oh my God. Forgive me, Sweden.
You're not being. The king and queen of Sweden are never inviting us. Just so you know. After that,
the guest of royalty.
You're gonna get. You're not even gonna get a. You're not even gonna get a cracker.
I won't even get the guest of royalty. So she saves the children,
and then
Pippi Longstocking.
No, then Mr. Nielsen. She has to go back because Mr. Nielsen's afraid to go back across the rope. But it was amazing that she did it. It was a great moment.
Does she drop then?
And then when she's climbing back with Mr. Nielsen, she starts to doubt herself and she falls and then the rope starts to burn and then she swings across.
This is when I'm thinking they want to use that thing again. They want to use that circus performer thing again. But no, you're right. She swings across. Why not? Because we saw her swinging on the boat. So it is kind of like a tie-in. So now cut to Christmas. It's Christmas Day and she's celebrating Christmas. There is a Christmas song too. This is a Christmas movie, David. David's like, no.
Not like our Christmas song available on iTunes. You should have downloaded it already.
Maybe we should have made it Pippi-lotta. So she hears her father singing with his sailor bag, walking in the snow, which I guess wouldn't have happened because it is Florida. But that's okay.
Life is a breeze. We live it for fun. No apologies to anyone. We live on the sea.
I don't believe it! Papa! Papa!
Left to serve. Each moment is now.
Papa! Papa! You come back!
Would I ever let you spend Christmas without me?
So they weren't going to invite her over on Christmas?
I didn't get all that. She was
Danica
like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Tommy, Merry Christmas, Annika.
Because at this point...
Thanks for remembering me, basically. So
Get the hell out of my house.
Merry Christmas, Tommy. Merry Christmas, Annika. Not forgetting you too, Pippi. Merry Christmas.
Maybe she knew the father was going to come.
But there is a part that Mrs. Bannister also recognizes that Pippi is fully capable of taking care of herself. And she's basically like, I'm leaving.
I have no legal ties to this girl. She comes over and cleans. That's all I know.
There's a lot going on. And then there's also a point where there's carolers come to Pippi's house. And Mrs. Bannister comes with the suck-up girl and gives her a puppy.
Merry Christmas,
honey.
So Dad comes and he decides to take her back. And in the grand finale, she's like, Dad, let me see. She uses the pirate scope and she sees that Annika will never recover from this.
She's sobbing. And she
sobbing,
sees everybody
holding
else's
that puppy.
face. She said, everybody, why wouldn't she take the puppy with her?
I don't know. She's like, this puppy will replace me. Lassie.
And then she says to her father, I can't see people crying because of me. The movie answered your question. She said, why did the father take
why
so
didn't he?
He said, the only reason why they left me is because I told him I'd bring back a princess named Pippi-lotta. So he must have had to, he had to encourage, like he was being kind of, you can't leave. You're our king now, but you can't leave. And he had to tell them he was bringing somebody, which he's going to have to explain when he gets back there.
He's going to make the cabin boy his princess.
You know what? This
Pippi-lotta.
is your fantasy. Something to do with that. I'm going to have to look him up and see what other pictures there are of him.
He was in Batman Returns as
Is he on your Instagram?
No, but I hope he's alive.
All right. In the beginning there were apples, oranges, and bananas. And Mr. Nielsen loves bananas.
No apologies to anyone. So Mr. Nielsen back in the water.
They say
Alfonso
he says he's going to turn the ship around. She goes, "No need. I'll just throw them in the water." and he says, "I love you, Pippi," or whatever. And then she's like, says something like, "Remember, Pippi will always come out on top."
And remember, Pippi will always come out on top.
He says he'll come to visit her from time to time.
Thank you. If the cannibals don't allow you to leave. No, I'm really bringing that princess this time. So it's a happy ending. And can I tell you, the picture to cartoon has been engraved. Ending credits is engraved in my soul. Because as it's playing, I'm like, oh my God, this ending where she turns into
Freedom calls and Pippi runs.
Radical Ones. It's free on Tubi, by the way.
With minimal commercials.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't know if it's nostalgia. I was not bored. I was not checking my phone. I loved every minute.
Kept my son's interest.
Twice almost. One and a half.
So it kept my son's interest, and there's whimsical in it. There's fantasy. There's fun. There's imagination. There's music, and it's wholesome.
Tami, by the way, was picked out of, we mentioned one of the girls that didn't make it, but to find this Pippi, the Pippi, there was over 8,000, David, actresses auditioned, and she was praised, our Tami, because they said she was sunshine.
They never got me on that stage. I could have been sunshine too.
They praised her sunshine energy and wanted Pippi to turn into Tami rather than Tami turn into Pippi. Tami, we speak your name again, because evidently you brought a lot of this and made Pippi your own. That's why 38 years later.
Well, you can see just in the message that she sent us when we reached out to her, like she's just really just sweet and very, very personable, and she embraces it. And again,
we embrace that,
which is so cool. And I can't wait to see her on the documentary and her slasher film.
All right, Clive, let's find out who the winner is.
You know, we have to add something to the time capsule, and this is the first time that I have so many things in my head that
Give me your top three. Pippi
Longstocking hair, Alfonso and Mr. Nielsen together on top of each other. But then I'm also thinking of stupid things like scrubbing shoes or I don't even know. Like there's so many things. Pippi herself, like her outfit. There's like so many things but what represents this movie of Pippi Longstocking the best?
That's a hard one. I'll be honest with you.
Like if there was an item, that's what I always try to think about for when I'm thinking of it. Like if they were giving us a time capsule and said, preserve one thing from this film that represents it. There's so many things that represents it. The horse, the hair,
how about
the pirate treasure,
a map with all the different places that Pippi Longstocking was, because that's everything about
around the world,
including Villa Villekulla.
Okay, a world map with parts of Pippi's adventure. We could do that. So Pippi,
like all of her, like Pippi Longstockings,
all over the world. Yeah, she was all over the world. Okay, I like that.
Does that make more sense?
A pirate's map, yes, and we'll put Villa Villekulla,
It's Kula.
And
with a K. I mean, I guess. I mean, other
map.
that, or it's a Wendy's wig, because you don't have Pippi Longstocking wig. I think they would only go with Wendy's, which is pretty much kind of the same thing.
Wendy's hair and Pippi run. I bet you they sell Pippi Longstocking hair. I bet you they do. And I bet you it looks like Raggedy Ann. That was another episode of Radical Retro Rewind Podcast. Can't believe it. 38 years of Pippalazza.
I can't believe it's 38 years old and I'm only
27 of those 38. You're not even alive for this movie.
I know,
David.
But it still means so much to me.
In the opposite sides of things, next week is St. Patrick's Day. So what will we be having, David, right in time for that beautiful holiday?
A Leprechaun movie. Can we just tell you something? I'm gonna spill the beans on this quickly. The amazing director of this movie,
thanks to Cadu,
reached out. The director literally was prepping for surgery, and I think we can say that because
he's recovered. He's doing well.
He's recovered. Thank you, God. He's recovering. This man, such a professional, literally from his hospital bed. You can see he's in his hospital gown, literally reached out to us to tell us a little bit about the movie.
Yeah, for our
radical ones. First of all, professionalism. Secondly, amazing and so appreciative.
It's so radical.
And that is
so us.
That is so on brand for us, but that is so amazing that he did that. Thank you, Cadu. Brian Smith, I can't tell you enough of how appreciative we are for you to have done that. And I am actually amazed. So thank you. Amazed. And that just shows you that, and I hope in some crazy small way, maybe it gave you a quick distraction to what was was obviously probably a very extremely scary moment in your life. But I am sending you positive vibes. I'm praying that you are healing and more so maybe doing some more creating.
Yes. Director of Night of the Demons 2, Leprechaun 3, which we did last year, Leprechaun 4. And he does mention they let him go crazy with this one, so can't wait to see it again. Leprechaun in space. So grab your spacesuits, your space diapers, as I brought up for years. Evidently, you could fill those up a lot if you need to. And prepare your gold coins because Where's Me Gold? Number 4, our annual tradition. But as always, you could find us at Radical Retro Rewind Podcast, one word, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond, as well as Universal Appeal 2020, all one word for David. Thank you again, everybody who listens, who joins us. Thank you again, Tami. Please check out Tami's official website, which we will have in the links below. And you can see the video on our Instagram or our YouTube when this episode comes out. So seek that out. Leave us a comment. Let us know what Pippi Longstocking means to you.
And I also encourage you, when the documentary comes out,
yes,
I Am Pippi comes out, to watch it if you are interested, because again, not just about the new adventures of Pippi Longstocking, but also about
her Slavic past.
Swedish. About all of the incarnations and reincarnations of.
But in that title, I Am Pippi, is a genius, knowing now that it's I am Pippi. Yeah. I am multiple Pippis.
Yeah, so it's super cool, and I am really excited about it. And knowing now what I know, because I didn't know before, what deeply embedded into different culture history it is.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I mean, I knew about the older ones because I'd seen it, but in like some of the stuff that was dubbed.
I wanted, at the time as a kid, I think
we watched
Mom rented that.
Yeah, we watched some of it because of the love of the Pippi Longstocking.
This ain't Pippi Longstocking.
But no, I thought it was cute and kitschy and kind of kooky. But it was very different from what we're used to, right? Obviously. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for her.
Thanks, Tami.
Thank you, Tami. And thank you for our listeners. And please give us a like.
Please.
Give us a thumbs up.
Please.
If you've listened to this video and you like what you heard, please give us a comment on Apple, here on YouTube. If you're listening here, wherever you are, please give us a like. Please give us a comment and let us know that you like our content and that you want us to continue with.
You want us to continue?
No, you want us. You want us to continue with the content as it is, or if you have any suggestions, you have any suggestions for any movies or any upcoming content, we'd love to hear from you, because we do take into consideration all of the comments that we do get and all of the suggestions for movies or other content. We thank you and have a lovely day.
And as always, stay radical.
Radical Ryan, he's ready to roll.